Today we're going to learn how to create a wrapper inside our website. Now, a wrapper is actually something that maybe technically I should have shown you pretty early on in this course here, but it is important to know what a wrapper is, since it is essentially what goes in and tells our website where we want the content to stop at when it comes to the width of all the content. And that is a very important thing when it comes to aligning things inside the website. So, this section down here doesn't go, over here, and then this one up here goes over here, and then this one goes over here. So we want to make sure the content goes somewhat in the same spot inside the website. So what we want to do is we want to go inside our HTML and CSS files, and I want to go inside the main.css file that we have, since this is going to be a wrapper that we can reuse over and over again inside our website. So right up here, after the body tag, I'll go ahead and include it here. I want to add a class called wrapper-main, because this is going to be the main wrapper for the website, because we can have multiple wrappers depending on what kind of content we want to wrap. And essentially I want to create a width for this wrapper. Let's make sure we spell that correctly, 1000. And we can also set a margin and set this one to 0 auto, which is actually going to center this container inside the browser. So anytime you want to center a container, you can use 0 auto or flexbox, depending on what you're doing. But in this case, we want this container here to be centered no matter if there's a flexbox or not available. So we want to write 0 auto. With this is all we need. So what I can do is I can go inside my index file, and inside the about section that we created in the previous episode, in order to see this section down here with all the different various about content of us, so we can show who we are. I want to make sure that all of this is not stretching further than a certain point. So inside the about section, I'll go down to the next line and create a div container. I'm going to move it down a line, and I'm going to give this one a class set to wrapper-main. And then I'm just going to put all the content inside this wrapper here. Now, something weird will happen now, because we do have a flexbox styling applied to our index about to make sure that all the content in here is actually wrapping the correct way. So we do need to make some changes to that particular piece of styling inside our CSS. But if I were to save this and actually go inside the website just to show you, you can now see that everything is actually wrapping inside this straight container. Like, it's going 1000 pixels to the side and nothing more. And this is actually a very good way if you want to do mobile sizing. You can also use a wrapper for this. So what we need to do now is just make sure that the sizing or the flexbox is applied to this container with the wrapper main instead of index about. And that's a very easy thing to just sort of fix. So going inside the index.css, I want to go up inside right where we have the beginning styling for this section here. So as you can see, index about has a display flex and then some flexbox styling in here. So I just want to copy that and delete it. And then I can just go below and add a modifier. So we can say index-about-flex. And then I'll just paste everything in here when it comes to the flexbox styling. Then I want to take this class here, copy it, go inside the index file, and add that as a second thing after wrapper main, save it, go inside the website, refresh it, and now you can see that everything is fitting accordingly. So you may not have seen the biggest changes from the beginning, but if you were to compare the before and after, you will actually notice that we have squished down the content a little bit, so it's only going 1000 pixels when it comes to the width inside the browser. Now, the keen eyes watching this video here may notice something, which is that right now, the 1000 pixels that we set is not fitting with the hero section content, because it actually kind of cuts like right here. So there's a little bit more spacing in this first section up here. So there's 3 ways you can fix this. Either you just decide that the hero section should be just a custom thing that is independent from all the other content. So it doesn't really follow the same sizing rules in that sort of sense. Or you add a wrapper to this hero section and squeeze everything a little bit down. Or you increase the wrapper for this section down here. So instead of just 1000 pixels, you might have 1100 pixels when it comes to the width. So again, just going inside our CSS here, go inside the main.css and say 1100 for the wrapper width. So doing that would essentially fix it. So now it is kind of matching with the hero section up here. So it has the same spacing, but it's just to kind of tell you that there is many different ways you can fix this. And again, it depends on what kind of design you have for your website. You can decide on anything that you want because this is your website. I cannot just say, looking at this website here, I think we're doing a pretty good job by now. Like, this is looking really good. Praising my own work here, essentially. But I hope that people watching this are thinking, you know what, you're building something that looks really nice. You're learning to make websites, and now you can start to see that, things are repeating in these lessons, and oh, okay, well, I learned that previous lesson, so I knew that already, so you start to recognize things that you've seen before. So I hope that people watching this are starting to understand how to make things. There's one more thing I want to do here, by the way. We should have done this in the previous episode, but I do want to capitalize get to know me inside my my little button down there, because we didn't do that up here because it just kind of capitalized it. So let's go inside our HTML, inside the index file, go down to the bottom, which is right here. Now we could just add a CSS styling to this, but let's just go ahead and say, get to know me, just like this. There we go. It looks a little bit better. So with that, I hope you enjoyed this lesson on how to create a wrapper, and I hope to see you guys in the next video.